Back, and it is going to feel pretty close to how it did today, tomorrow as well. So today and tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, fall-like weather. It is a little blustery, a little chilly, more than we're used to, but pretty darn close to spot on average. The average temperature when taking the high and the low temperature today was almost exactly spot on average. So this is how October should feel. And I know we're having some difficulty getting used to it at times. Some of us, but others of us are welcoming it. And then I know the warm weather lovers are thinking it might be the start of winter. So I hope across all the spectrum of all of us acclimating to the weather, we know that this is how October should feel, but at least for warmer weather lovers, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday look like spot on. Look at my emoji there. We've got sunglasses, the perfect symbol. It is looking pretty darn good. So please enjoy that. And just get ready for a splendid middle part of this week. All right, now this week starts out a little bit breezy again, maybe a little bit less with the winds compared to today on Sunday. Monday, maybe we can cap some of those wind gusts in the 25 to 30 mile per hour range. The top gust at DCA today, DCA Airport, National Airport, was 35 miles per hour. So we shouldn't quite see that tomorrow. But at least we will be slowly warming this week. Temperatures about the same tomorrow and wind chills a little bit less, luckily. Generally, let's add a couple degrees onto those wind chills that we had today, mainly in the 50s. Tomorrow should feel closer to the 60 to mid 60s on the thermometer with a little bit less wind. But as you can see this week, we warm it up, and a cold front there at the end of the week is what cools us down in this animation. And there's still some question marks on how unsettled and gray this end of the week, maybe Thursday night, we start seeing a chance for clouds and showers and maybe a storm moving back into the region. And then can we clear that out? More question marks for the weekend as well. Good evening, David. Thank you for tuning in. Deborah, hello. You're loving the autumn temps. Excellent. Kenny, I'm sorry you're not ready for the cold. I appreciate hearing from the warmer weather lovers, those who still want to acclimate a little bit more. I mean, it is sharp 15 degrees. We've changed in an instant, and the dew points are down as well, which we'll get to in a moment. But here's the forecast for rain this week, looking pretty dry in the I-95 DC Mid-Atlantic corridor. I know we got a little bit of rain. Some gardeners, some farmers were happy with the late season rain during the growing season, which is still going on. No widespread frost and freezes to speak of just yet. But we could use a little bit more, and it's not looking like more than just maybe a stray shower or storm in the upcoming week until you talk to me next. This is through next Saturday night, so keep that in mind. Comfort levels this week, pretty awesome. Let me see if I can enlarge that for you. It is going to be dew points in the 40s and 50s. Not too bad at all, way into the dry, pleasant regime. So keep that in mind. We are going to feel fantastic and fall-like. Thank you for joining me. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com, doing our weekly Sunday sunset chat. Thanks for joining me on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. And yep, sunsets are getting earlier and earlier. So I appreciate you tuning in a little earlier and earlier every week on these weekly Sunday chats. I really enjoy them and appreciate you tuning in. Laura, pollen outlook. Let's get to that now before I lose your comments. We've got pollen down here. Let's see, not too bad with trees. Mold is the only thing that's really moderate that I'm feeling a little bit. Perhaps you are as well, so I hope that helps you. Rain next weekend is a question mark. It's just uncertain whether or not we can get this trough of low pressure, which we've got one moving out as we keeping us windy into tomorrow. We push that out to see, look at that ridge, that beautiful ridge of high pressure for the middle part of this week, and then an unsettled upper level pattern at the end of this week into the weekend when another cold front tries to come through Thursday night into Friday. So here's a preview of the temperatures on Saturday. Not too bad, kind of knocked back down to average like we're feeling for today and for tomorrow on Monday. So comfort levels are about right where they should be for this time of year for October, so keep that in mind. But clouds and stray showers cannot rule out a little bit of unsettled conditions for next Saturday and or Sunday. But despite being question marks and not a high confidence forecast, Rick, for this upcoming weekend, what I'm seeing is still keeping me in the fan booth for pro outdoor activities. don't make any major plan changes. Maybe have a plan B in the back of your mind, but we've seen the weather models predict some rain, and it's been pretty dry overall in recent weeks. So we have learned even to look at this, it could be pretty darn dry, and you see a stripe of dryness here in the center of the Mid-Atlantic region along the I-95 and even some of the I-81 corridor. So I say over the next 6-7 days, with this dry spell potentially setting up, next weekend looks pretty good. And again, it's my opinion personally that outdoor plans should be okay next weekend. Just be ready with a little umbrella, stray shower, maybe a windbreaker, jacket with a hood, and you really should be okay. Most of us can hike in a few raindrops. It's okay. Let's see. No complaints from Barbara. Thanks for tuning in. Today it was refreshing. Kareem says it's nice. Peter, hello. Thanks for tuning in. And we've got Stephanie looking forward to a little warm up this week. Yes, indeed. Temperatures are looking warmer and warmer Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, middle part of this week. We get a nice ridge of high pressure building in. And then as you see at the end of this animation, at the end of this week, we've got another cold front coming through Thursday night into Friday that could knock temperatures back down and maybe keeping us there for several days after that, and weekend and into maybe next week. We kind of feel around average, maybe a hair below average for this time of year. So keep that in mind. All right, we've got Joanna. Thanks for tuning in from YouTube. My warm weather friends are already complaining. Yes, indeed. Mine are too. I had one today, think it was early winter, and that had me concerned since this is how it should feel like for this time of year. It is pretty okay. And here's the look ahead, and CWG.news/latest right there is the PM update by Greg Porter. So please make sure to tune in to that. Click on that. You can touch on my face and popping up below on your mobile device. I believe you will see the clickable links that I've put in, and it's above the video on your MacBook, your desktop, your laptop, you name it. So, all right, we've got Indigo asking about when is the first frost. So looking at the forecast at a glance before I go to my next frost freeze map, nothing widespread is expected, but the coldest nights this week will be Monday night, tomorrow night, and then maybe again Friday night into Saturday morning early. So if you live along the I-81 corridor and points west, do keep an eye on things. Do bring in those sensitive plants. Let's see, we've got, let me get down here to the average first frost and freeze, kind of the median date. We are a little behind schedule. Many of us have, even along I-81, have not seen the first frost and freeze, which typically happens by this time of year. So just be vigilant. Monday night and Friday night, those are the two key nights, and that is kind of what we're thinking. Nothing widespread, likely east of I-81. So keep that in mind, Indigo, when you're considering what to bring inside, what to protect, or maybe what to start digging up this time of year. All right, David is defiantly in weather shock from the 80s now to the 60s. Yes, indeed. We have changed temperatures very quickly in the last 24 hours. The thermometer is down at least 15 degrees from this time yesterday, and the dew points are another story. They're very comfortable, but 30s and 40s, those have subtracted about 20 degrees from the dew points. We were about at the 60 degree level yesterday, maybe moist, unpleasant. It was a little sticky yesterday, but now we have really dried out the air. It's really refreshing, but a little bit of a shock, a little bit of acclimation. We'll have to take a day or two to really get used to it. And the winds have added a little bit of a wind chill today. And here's tomorrow's wind gusts, a hair less than today, which is some good news. So we should be able to keep wind gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour instead of 30 to 35 miles per hour. We had 35 mile per hour wind gust, the max wind gust today at DCA. 37 miles per hour was the max wind gust at Dulles Airport today as well. All right, Rick, you're most welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Omar says fall is here. Yes, we've got fall conditions this week. A little warming trend, middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Looks spectacular and should be a decent compromise between fall weather lovers and warm weather lovers. We should be able to meet and compromise Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Dew points stay low, which is great. And that will keep these temperatures in the 60s and 70s feeling pretty awesome. And then maybe we cool down again at the end of this week. when a cold front, as you can see, approaching from the Great Lakes into this weekend brings us back toward average. So keep that in mind. It's dry this week. Very little, if any, rain is expected. So outdoor plans are a go, even if we have a few question marks with maybe some stray clouds, showers, and spits into next weekend. Even a stray storm is possible Thursday night and Friday as this cold front comes through, but nothing too heavy, nothing widespread, and nothing long-lasting is what you can derive from this map that looks at rain accumulation over the next 6.5 days or so. All right. Maribel, thanks for tuning in, and appreciate all the interaction with everyone else. That's excellent. So thanks again. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com, on for another 9.5 minutes or so. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest, or anytime you need us, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. And yes, I put a little breezy emoji in for tomorrow. It's still a little bit breezy, less so than today by a hair. So the same temperature regime that we had for today will feel maybe a hair more comfortable tomorrow, because wind chills won't quite be stuck in the 50s all day. We'll actually feel pretty darn close, or at least a lot closer to what it reads on the thermometer in the low to mid 60s tomorrow. And then look at that warming trend. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, high pressure's in control, lots of sun, pleasant as heck temperatures. I put in emojis with some sunglasses and some perfect symbols there. And yes, I think we'll be issuing at CapitalWeatherGang.com maybe 3 in a row nice day stamps this upcoming week. So we will see how that goes, if that transpires. All right. Sarah asks, what temperatures can we use our fireplaces? I mean, that's a good idea, a good question. I mean, soon, maybe Monday night, tomorrow night is looking pretty chilly. I would think about doing it tomorrow night if you're outside the Beltway. Today's average temperature was right about spot on average for this time of year. So if you did not feel too chilly today, I think we could wait a little bit longer till maybe the next cold night, which is maybe Friday night into Saturday morning, to use our fireplaces. Again, outside the Beltway, I would recommend. So keep that in mind. Jerry says, bring on the cool weather. Let's see, we've got Joanna. Yep, warm weather friends are already complaining about the cold. I know, I had that today too. I was receiving those messages. Let's see. Yes, Jeremy, you can look forward to commuting to a suit on Capitol Hill without the humidity killing me. Yes, we can even get some exercise tomorrow without really sweating outside too much. Go for a bike ride or a jog. It's going to be surreal. We're acclimating to not sweating quite as much just from heat shock on our bodies, where previously we had dew points way up into the 60s, if not above 70 just a few weeks ago, and that would prevent our skin from breathing and naturally evaporating its sweat to cool itself from the surface of the skin. But now we have dry, refreshing air all week. So we are sitting pretty. Going to be awesome this week with dry, refreshing air. Dew points right now, some parts of the region are in the 30s, but 40s and maybe some 50s this week are still going to be awesomely comfortable. So it's going to be great. Elizabeth, let's talk about leaf colors. I love that. Thank you. I had that ready to go. So we're approaching some peak colors along I-81, and this map is a few days old, and our foliage report is available here at CWG.news/foliage. I think this week, if you can somehow skip out of midweek work and head toward the Shenandoah, low to mid elevations in the Skyline Drive area are going to be awesome. As you can see earlier in this report, closer toward October 11th, 12th, 13th, we had high color. It's along the very top of Skyline Drive. So I think it's a really good time to get to the mountains, to the Blue Ridge and Appalachians this week if you can. Next weekend, this upcoming weekend in 6 days, probably still good. And here's typical times that we have for peak foliage. And we're a little bit behind, but not too much. Mid to late October for the I-81 corridor, and then late October into early November for downtown and Fredericksburg, and even near Charlottesville and Richmond for the I-95 corridor. So we're getting there. I know it's been a little bit warm. We're a few days behind, but I hope you can get out and enjoy this week and next, and even this weekend. I think we are getting there for points west of I-95. It is now finally showing some color. Sarah, you're most welcome. Elizabeth, I hope that answers your question. And Lee, perfect weather coming up, but let's get some snow. I'm sorry to say, snow might not be in the forecast just yet, But do keep in mind that we did this week have our LaNina evaluation. With LaNina being back, that could affect our winter forecast. So for that, go to CWG.news/LaNina. So we can give you the mixed news on what could happen this winter. But of course, this is just one component when doing the kind of low confidence seasonal forecasting that will look ahead to winter as we get later into fall toward Thanksgiving. We'll keep you posted at CapitalWeatherGang.com. All right, I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. I'm on for about 5 more minutes, a little less. Let me know if you have any last questions or comments. Thanks for tuning in to these weekly Sunday sunset chats. We do this every Sunday at sunset, which, yes, is getting earlier and earlier, but appreciate you tuning in on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Thanks so much for all these questions and comments. Hello, Gary from Maine. Excellent. Good to hear from you from Portland. And let's see, Stephanie drove up I-81 from Blacksburg, and the colors were still mainly green. Stephanie, that is a really useful report. Thank you for that when we were talking about our foliage report a moment ago. So that's great. We still have time to get out to the I-81 corridor before some of these higher and peak colors develop this week. And stay tuned. We will have, middle part of this week, we'll have another foliage update at CWG.news/foliage. That's our latest for now. But this map and our foliage report at CapitalWeatherGang.com, we will update later this week. Gary, colors at peak on the coast around Portland. Excellent. Flakes in the hills later this week. Ooh, snow. Talking about snow in Maine. Excellent. And Deborah, I'll be happy to have the ragweed completely gone. Yes. Let's check pollen really quick. The main culprits lately has been mold and mildew. There's fungus spores, but trees are behaving, and we do have some low weeds and low grass pollen around, so keep that in mind. Dry conditions this week could again keep that ragweed coming back, so I'm sorry I can't give you better news. With little rainfall to wash out some of this pollen, this is over the next 6.5 days or so. When you talk to me next, we might still be dry in the DC corridor along I-81, I-95, and the Mid-Atlantic. Elizabeth, thanks for the leaf update. I'll try and include Pennsylvania next week if I can. Sorry, the Mid-Atlantic report does not completely perhaps reach the area you want it to, but let me check that one more time. Yep, I guess it's south of the Mason-Dixon line. Sorry about that, Elizabeth, but thank you. Hello, Gary, and indeed, you're missing your home state of Maine. I'm glad to hear that. Maine is great. All right, let's see what else I have for you. We've got the look ahead for next work week, leaning above average for temperatures. We'll see. It could be a little unsettled, a little cloudy. I don't know if it will necessarily feel warm, because remember, this time of year, today it's 69 degrees for an average high temperature. By the time this map is in effect next week, we're down to 67. So if we're leaning a little above average, we might be maybe 70 in a few spots. So that's comfortable. I like that a lot. But just keep in mind our average temperatures are going lower and lower as we get deeper into fall. And look at that, just 2 degrees difference from today to next week down to 67. So we're losing about 2 degrees of average high temperature each week that we're talking during these weekly Sunday sunset chats. And looking ahead, LaNina is back, so make sure you get the update there at CWG.news/LaNina. That could affect our winter forecast, which we hope to have for you maybe near Thanksgiving. Precipitation next week could be near normal. We could use a little bit of rain. I know we haven't had quite as much as we wanted to looking back over the last 7 days on this map, but at least we've had some during a couple of those kind of downpours, some squalls, some heavy showers that came through really quickly with the cold front this week. But the good news is drought is not in our forecast. We're doing great with our water on this side of the Mississippi River, east of the Mississippi. So that is the good news there. All right. Julie says, give me your grass pollens and keep the mold spores. I'm sorry that the mold is acting up. I'll see if I can get rid of grass and lower that a little bit for you next week, Julie. Gary was born in Virginia, and now you're in, I got it, now you're in Portland from Alexandria. Thanks, Gary. Misha, the warmest part of the day now is indeed a little bit earlier. We're not staying at those high temps very long. Here is what's interesting with this map. I have this animation of temperatures I tried to capture at 5 p.m. each day over this work week. We warm up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe cool down a little bit again Friday as a cold front comes through. But Misha, it's a very good point. We used to have high temperatures kind of 4:30, maybe as late as 6:30 p.m. in the peak of summer. But now it's a little bit earlier in the 3 to 5 o'clock range. So I love that you are weather aware and have that great observation. So it's kind of mid afternoon to maybe 5 p.m. That's the best I could get to when I had to choose between 2 and 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. is warmer than 2 p.m., but when the highest point of the day, the highest temperature of the day is now in the mid-Atlantic, away from water, that is, it should generally be 4:30, maybe 5 p.m., but it's becoming rarer and rarer to have a high temperature of the day after 5 p.m. Mary, I know I'm trying to make it less dark in my background this week. It did not work. I don't know. I have to get some floodlights for you. Gary, you be safe as well, and good night. Take care. I'm signing off now. Keep in mind the wind tomorrow should die down a little bit. Gusts today were above 35, 37 miles per hour at DCA and IAD respectively. A little bit less tomorrow. Looking warm into the middle part of this week. Dew points are comfortable. It's just looking fantastic and fabulous. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a good compromise between fall weather lovers and warm weather lovers. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. Look at those emoji, a little breeze tomorrow, but then perfection with sunglasses on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Cold front comes through Thursday night, Friday, maybe keeping it unset a little bit into this weekend. There's some question marks, but still, I'm in the pro outdoor plans camp. Don't change anything just yet. At the end of this week or into the weekend, even if we're a little cooler, a little bit unsettled, not much in the way of rain is currently expected, if any. So let's just get outside for the next week, and I'll talk to you next Sunday for a weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Take care. Lewis, it's quiet in the tropics. David, you're welcome. And Gary, yep, nothing in the tropics. Lee, you're most welcome. And